From India's reaction to US President Trump's tariffs to the heated debate on the Waqf Amendment Bill 2025 in the Rajya Sabha, here are the top headlines of the day. Good evening, I'm Sharmada Venkatasubramanian and welcome to the Hindu's News Wrap. Let's get started. The discussions on the Waqf Amendment Bill 2025 is our top story of the day. The Rajya Sabha took the Waqf Amendment Bill 2025 and Musalman Waqf Repeal Bill 2024 for discussion after the Lok Sabha passed the Waqf Amendment Bill late last night. The bill was passed after a marathon 12-hour debate that ran well past midnight. With 288 MPs voting in favour and 232 against it, several clauses moved by the opposition were also negated. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin announced in the State Assembly that the DMK will move the Supreme Court against the bill. He said, and I quote, "The proposed amendments to the Waqf Act 1995 are detrimental to the religious harmony of India and will severely impact the minority Muslim community." He said most of the political parties in India have opposed the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024. He said, and I quote, "Although the amendment bill has been passed, the number of those who voted against it is not small. The amendment bill should not just be opposed but should be completely withdrawn." US President Donald Trump announced a new set of tariffs against countries that charged high tariffs and imposed barriers that made products made in the USA more expensive. These tariffs are an essential part of Trump's plan to reduce trade deficit it has with other countries and increase domestic manufacturing. A statement issued by the White House says, and I quote, "Reciprocal trade is America first trade because it increases our competitive edge, protects our sovereignty, and strengthens our national and economic security." The US would impose a quote-unquote baseline tariff on all imports to the US. That rate is set at 10% and will go into effect on April 5th. Some countries will only face the base rate. These include United Kingdom, Singapore, Chile, Brazil, Australia, New Zealand, Turkey, Colombia, Argentina, El Salvador, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, among others. White House officials also said that they would impose what they describe as custom reciprocal tariffs on roughly 60 of the quote-unquote worst offenders. These will go into effect on April 9th. China, Cambodia, Vietnam, Japan, and the European Union are in the list. These reciprocal tariffs will not apply to specific goods like copper, pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, lumber, bullion, energy, and quote-unquote certain minerals that are not available in the United States. Trump also imposed 25% tariff on all foreign-made automobiles. These tariffs are set to take effect at midnight on April 3rd. Trump slapped India with some of the highest tariff rates imposed on any major US trading partner, saying his good personal ties with Prime Minister Narendra Modi did not affect his decision. The Trump administration imposed a 26% tariff on imports from India, which is slightly higher than the 20% levy for the European Union, the 24% for Japan, and the 25% for South Korea. However, the levies are far lower than China's rate of at least 54% and other regional manufacturing rivals like Vietnam, which was hit with a 46% tariff. The Indian Department of Commerce has said that it is quote-unquote carefully examining the implications of the tariff announcements. It is also engaging with India Inc., exporters and other stakeholders, taking feedback of their assessment of the tariffs and assessing the situation. The department is also studying the opportunities that may arise due to this new development in the US trade policy. It also said that discussions are ongoing between Indian and US trade teams for the expeditious conclusion of a mutually beneficial bilateral trade agreement. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Thailand to attend the 6th BIMSTEC summit. During his two-day visit, he will meet several other heads of states from the region, including Nepal Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, Bangladesh Chief Advisor Mohammad Yunus, and Myanmar military junta leader Min Aung Hlaing. While in Thailand, PM Modi and his Thai counterpart Petongtang Shinawatra have decided to elevate ties to the level of a strategic partnership. The two leaders also held delegation-level talks and discussed ways to increase bilateral cooperation. Agreements have also been made for cooperation in MSME handloom and handicraft, he noted. The Supreme Court ordered Telangana's Chief Secretary to ensure that not a single tree is felled until further notice in Kancha Gochibowli. This order comes within 24 hours of the Telangana High Court issuing an interim direction to the state government to stop excavations and felling of trees across 400 acres of Kancha Gochibowli, which is adjacent to the University of Hyderabad. Over the past few days, students of the University of Hyderabad and environmentalists have been protesting against the Telangana Industrial Infrastructure Corporation's decision to auction off the land. Meanwhile, BRS Working President KT Ramarao warned investors and companies to not participate in the auctions and said the lands would be taken back whenever his party returns to power. The Samsung India Workers Union, or SIVU, has issued a 14-day strike notice to the company's management demanding the reinstatement of 23 suspended workers of the Samsung factory of Sri Perumbudur, along with the fulfillment of other demands. The move comes less than a month after the SIVU withdrew their month-long protests on March 7, 2025. The strike notice was served on April 2nd. The Lok Sabha has adopted a statutory resolution confirming the imposition of President's rule in Manipur. The opposition supported the decision, but they slammed the centre for the situation in the state. Replying to a short debate, Union Home Minister Amit Shah said the government has taken all possible steps to bring back normalcy in the northeastern state. The Supreme Court has refused to relax the ban imposed on the manufacture, storage and sale of firecrackers in Delhi NCR, noting air pollution levels had remained alarming for a considerable time. Unless the court was satisfied that the pollution due to the so-called green crackers was bare minimum, there was no question of reconsidering the previous orders, it added. The head of Myanmar's junta is in Bangkok to attend a regional summit, even as the death toll from the country's devastating earthquake passed 3,000. Min Aung Hlaing will join a Beamstick gathering where he will raise the response to 7.7 magnitude quake that hit the nation last week. In a statement, the military-led government said the number of deaths has increased to 3,085 as search and rescue teams found more bodies. It said another 4,715 people have been injured and 341 are missing. That's all for today's evening wrap. Stay tuned to The Hindu. Subscribe for more.